Well, first off, I would like to thank Fatima for agreeing with our proposal in changing, because they realize that we do, there is a problem with abuse and there is no, how do I say, oversight. There's no oversight inside of homeschooling, which is the main problem in the first place. We know there's gonna be abuse with or without homeschool, but the fact that we have homeschool that's in the system right now, we can use this as a means to go through and getting oversight into homes in America. And to support, I got it. To support my, First Amendment Mitchell's claims, I found a few articles claiming that, from responsibilityhomeschools.org, that they are saying that there's a lot of dark things that happen in this place, and we will never find out because there is no oversight in this. For instance, there's a case of a 17-year-old, almost grown man, was handcuffed and chained inside his basement in Kansas City. Another case, 2 homeschooled children in Palmdale, California, were locked in their rooms every day with zip ties on their hands. And one of the worst cases, again, he's said state of death as well. But also I want to claim another one that was found, which is terrible. A young girl named Palmdale, California, was locked in a room during a fire, chained to the bed. These all could have been prevented. All of this could have been prevented if there was some kind of oversight. And homeschool is the means to get through this. Other things that, again, Mitchell discussed, things like physical abuse, verbal abuse, isolation, food deprivation, sexual abuse, along with identification abuse and medical neglect. All of the things run rampant with no oversight, which is, we need to implement this so we can get that information. That's the main point we want to instill this. Oh. Fatima also pointed out that basic human rights are being neglected because if homeschooling would be more oversighted, they would take away the responsibility of the parent. I'd have to argue that basic rights are only tangible if you don't hinder other people's rights. By keeping the status quo, you sustain the rights of the current generation by sacrificing the futures. You're sacrificing the children's basic rights if you keep the system the way it currently is. And to counter the idea that you are limited, the parents would be limited in their education, us putting a standard on the homeschool parental guidance also gives them the ability to, how do I say, okay, their education themselves, the parents, will be held at a higher standard, so they themselves will be more educated so that they can teach their children. So that's really a benefit. I don't see why letting people get smarter is a terrible thing.